Did you know you wanted to audition for Enid, or like was it like your team that brought it to you? Did someone did you read the script and you were like, I liked this character? Or
what's funny is I auditioned for Wednesday at first.
Oh wow.
Thought this is not going to go well. I can't pull it off. Didn't pull it off, but they came back and they were like, "Oh, but you might be good for Enid. Let's give it a shot." So my team got sent the Enid breakdown. And then from that point on, I was like, okay, this feels much better.
That's funny.
Went with Enid from there, and that's how.
Oh my gosh, how cool.
Okay, so the producers saw you audition for Wednesday.
Unfortunately, my showrunners have brought up my audition to me before.
Stop.
It's like, no, don't talk about it.
Have you watched it back?
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
I'm too embarrassed.
That's funny.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you feel like you and Enid are more similar than different, or where do you think you compare and contrast with her?
I think we're pretty different. What's funny is that people who don't know me, like when we were at Comic-Con, I had a lot of people come up to me being like, you say you're not like Enid, but you are Enid. But I think that's just, my outward personality when I'm trying to, socialize with people. But I think we're pretty different. I am not much of an extrovert. Don't really wear a lot of colors. And I think she's more personable and more like she can communicate better with others than I can. But because we're not so alike, I quite like playing her because it's fun to be a bit different.
Yeah, for sure.
That's so cool.
We, like millions of others, watched your Fallon clip, which, by the way, was that the first talk show that you did? Are you serious?
First time.
That's wild.
That's a big one to start with.
Big one and a great
one.
Yeah.
It was. I screamed when they called me about it.
Oh, were you so nervous?
So nervous.
Yeah, I would have
so
been
nervous.
vomiting.
I was shaking. I was wearing these heels, these heeled boots, and I was like, I'm gonna trip on the stage on my way up. Thank God I didn't.
I know, you think about every possible thing that could go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, Leno was my first ever, and I was terrified, but he was so sweet. And Jimmy is literally the best, as you know.
So lovely.
Yeah, he is honestly the best person to start with.
Yeah,
for sure. Anyway, sorry, getting carried away. In the Fallon interview, you talked about this werewolf training thing. And I found it very interesting because I, too, happen to play a werewolf. And I got to be honest, I was not given any sort of training.
Really?
No. So I was very intrigued by this. And it sounded like not basic. Like you really did some stuff.
I did some stuff.
And we found some clips of it as well. So the clips, that's your dance background, right? Because you were just throwing aerials.
Yeah, that's dance. I did a little bit of gymnastics and some figure skating, but for the most part, it's dance background.
Because she's showing me a clip. She's like, oh, in her werewolf training, she learned how to do a kip up and an aerial. And I was like, babe, there's no way. I don't even care if she was training for a month or two. She didn't just learn how to do from the werewolf trainer an aerial and a kip up.
Yeah, that's been years of.
That's so funny.
And her walkovers too.
Yeah.
Was that hard to do with flexed feet? As a dancer,
yes.
I have to ask.
It made me cringe really badly. I would do it and they'd be like, you look too graceful. Can you make it uglier? Mm-hmm. And I'd try and it would just hurt me inside.
That's so funny. Yeah, I didn't get that. So that sounds really fun. And
you should have gotten it. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I didn't get to do any of my werewolf stuff, even though I trained for it.
Really?
Really.
Why?
Well, COVID, partly. They didn't want us mixing with the stunt crew.
Uh-huh.
And we were a month behind schedule, and it just got to the point where it's easier to let the stunt guy just do it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Next season, though. Next season.
Did no part of you go, you know what, I'm going to be playing a werewolf. Maybe I should call up somebody else that has played a werewolf and get some advice, or you're more of a Teen Wolf, Tyler Posey type?
No. Okay. I was Twilight all the way. What's funny is that my cousin is obsessed with Twilight.
Okay.
And she had been calling me the local Jacob for quite a while after I had booked Wednesday.
Oh my gosh.
And when I sent her a picture of us together, and she sent me a voice memo being like, what the heck?
No.
Oh my gosh. What's wrong with you?
Okay, we have to FaceTime her
after
this.
We will.
Okay.
Yeah, she'll be stoked.
Gosh, let's do it.
How cute is that? I love that.
We'll drop it after this. I've been asked this question a trillion times, and I'm sure you have already, and you are going to continue to be. But I'm still going to ask you anyways. When you booked the job or when you were auditioning for it, did you know what level of, were people telling you this is going to be massive when you were filming? Even did you what were you thinking it was going to be, and did it blow your it's the number 2 most watched show on Netflix ever?
Yeah.
So what did you think?
I mean, I thought it was gonna be
Successful.
a hit. Yeah, successful because it's Tim Burton, it's the
Yeah.
Addams Family.
Yeah.
He has a lot of fans. Addams Family has a lot of fans. It would have gained some traction. I didn't think it was going to get that much attention.
Yeah.
My showrunners were shocked. The cast was shocked. But I didn't even really realize it had broken records because when the show came out, I was filming a film.
Okay.
And hadn't been checking social media. I hadn't been looking at anything. And when I got home for Christmas after it came out, my family was like, "Do you realize how big this show is?"
Yeah. That's
Completely
funny.
blew my mind. We had no idea it was going to be that big.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. So I mean, yeah, I guess before it aired or around the time of the show airing, you had like 1 million followers, and now you're at like almost 12 million followers.
Before the show came out, I think before even the trailer, the first teaser came out, I probably had like 900 followers.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
This proves my point even more.
Yeah.
From 900 to almost 12 million followers.
Crazy.
What has that like adjustment been for you? Because obviously, like this whole new level of fame and attention, it was probably just like freaking thrown at you. What has that been like?
It was hard getting used to at first. Now I'm a bit more used to it because I've found ways to kind of like deal with it and make it not so intense. But at first, and like I still had my Instagram notifications on.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And my DMs were open and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So all at once, like after it dropped the first day, I had like an influx of people coming to my social media and messaging and liking and commenting and all that sort of stuff. And it got really overwhelming, and I thought I'd be able to handle it, but I couldn't. So I've like turned off my tagged photos. My DMs are all restricted and stuff like that, just because it makes it easier for me to handle it.
Yeah.
What's weird is that when I was younger, I was a big fan of things. Loved looking at people's tagged photos, loved, liking and commenting and all that. But now that it's happening to me, I can understand why people are weirded out by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot, but it's better now.
Are there any other boundaries besides like social media that you've kind of like had to put in place to be like, okay, I need to not really look at this, or I should stay away from that? What else is there?
My sisters find it funny to look at my name on Twitter and stuff, and I've recently just had to tell them, please just don't.
Yeah.
They send me stuff, and it's all fun and games and all that. We have giggles, but it just gets overwhelming sometimes, and I don't. Even if it's like nothing harmless, it's just pictures of me, on set, or recent styling photos of me. It's a lot to have so many people talking about you, and you not like even knowing that they're talking about you.
Yeah.
Because I don't have Twitter, I don't have TikTok, I don't have Facebook or whatever.
Yeah.
So knowing that there's whole other social media platforms that people can say whatever they want, and I can't even see it, is a little bit crazy.